Boston over farming, however the opponent makes a very nice catching back onto G-Weezy, but this is just perfect. Boston banks the mud bomb and sends out Chandelure. Chandelure gets the full incinerate farm down, back out comes Lantern, and Chandelure is about to be a Lantern counter confirmed. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got that footage you have all been waiting for. Some Bronzor and Shuckle battles in the Little Cup. Just kidding, you will not find any of that nonsense on my channel. What you will see on my channel is some actual entertainment. We're going to have, without a doubt, the most craziest battles in the Catch Cup you will see all week, courtesy of my favourite battler in the entire world, XBoston. He, much like myself, is here for a good time, not a long time, so he is going to be running a triple Shadow team. We've got one very common top meta dog in the form of Shadow Whiscash. If you've got one, I'd highly recommend using it, because the good times won't last. Scold is definitely getting nerfed. You heard it here first. With a double glass cannon Shadow backline. With two Pokemon you probably won't see all that often. Chandelure running a very surprise nuke of Energy Ball and Shelgon. Shelgon technically single moved, although you might see the odd frustration BM here and there. And that is where we're going to end the intro. Buckle up, because this is going to be a crazy ride. Without any further ado, let's get into the battle. And in game one, we led Shadow Whiscash into Frostlass. Boston has been practicing his masturbating technique baits with the Mud Bomb, allowing him to outpace to the Scold, not only gaining shield advantage but leaving Frostlass down on a fraction of HP. We send out the candle. Of course we're going to shield once the opponent falls in the Shadow Ball, which would probably kill around 256 Chandelures. Out comes Gligar to greet our candle. We see the instant pivot into Shelgon, drawing out Polygraph. Boston goes straight for the Twister. Twister forces the final Protect Shield, and oh baby, it is candle time. We see the instant no shield deployed. Icy Wind secures the knockout. Boston sends back out the candle. We go straight for the Energy Ball. It's going to be high Polygraph, bye Polygraph, get fucking wrecked. Back out comes Gligar, the opponent looking to double up on charge moves, but Chandelure says no, reaches the flame charge, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see without a doubt the worst possible lead we could see, as we are very ABA weak to our Abomasnow. We could complain about the algorithm, or we could just crack on and look to find a win con, as Boston is. We fire off the Scold. Scold goes unshielded. We see the pivot into Shelgon, looking to catch a potential Energy Ball. Did the opponent react quick enough? Yikes! Weather Ball nearly one-shots. The opponent gets the full Powder Snow farm down. Poor old Shelgon was straight in and straight out. How we have got this Abomasnow pretty low. We send out Chandelure. The opponent pivots into Annihilate. These counters are double resisted, and we're going to be vamping up our attack. Flame Charge forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Unfortunately, if the opponent is on Night Slash, which I imagine they are, and they are because they just proved it, we are going to be forced to double shield. However, this candle is going to be boosted with a whole heap of energy. We know Abomasnow won't be returning. What is that third? Show me something we can nuke. Out comes Clodsire. Boston making very good use of the misaligned switch timer. Pivots into Whiscash, fires off a Scold. Scold goes unshielded. The opponent then bank an Earthquake, pivot into Abomasnow, serve up that wham bam combo play, securing the knockout with the Energy Ball. And despite Boston trying to pull off some wizardry, we are going to succumb to the potential algorithm. Is it real? Is it not? I'll let you decide. GG's to that opponent. Moving on to the next battle, we see Shadow Whiscash into Artifax, a pretty neutral lead. However, pacing advantage is with our ever faithful Mud Boy. Boston fires off the Mud Bomb, gaining himself early shield advantage. Unless the opponent is running Avalanche, we should survive an Icy Wind or Dragon Claw. The opponent fire off the Icy Wind, attempt to snipe, sending out Shadow Victreebel. Boston shows cat-like reflexes, saving Whiscash and pivoting into Shelgon. Shelgon going to be able to shield once Dragon Breath farm all the way down. We've got a Twister, good to go. Back out comes Artifax, does the opponent respect the damage? Well, that was pretty disappointing, but my god, is Twister a fun animation. Despite Twister being an absolute garbage move, Shelgon proving its worth, claiming 2 victims in this battle. The opponent saving their final Protect Shield for Shadow Tentacruel, and we send out Chandelure. The poison jabs are resisted. Boston goes straight for the flame charge. The opponent looks to call the bait, but no bait call will change this opponent's fate, as Chandelure hits far too hard for the opponent not to respect the damage. Chandelure gets the Incinerate farm down, and we take that game. Shadow Whiscash into Decidueye. Boston says, no thank you, and we're going to see the safe switch into Shelgon, drawing out Clodsire. Clodsire versus Dragons, usually pretty neutral, but once again, Twister is so underwhelming. Here's an idea, Niantic. How about, instead of buffing stuff like Scold, to make the game even more RNG, how about we buff some of these underwhelming moves like Twister? However, hold that thought, as Shelgon are yet again putting in a whole heap of work. We're able to withstand the Sludge Bomb, reach one further Twister, forcing a shield advantage in the mid game. Of course, the opponent wants to keep that super positive alignment. However, Boston, no doubtably, is smiling ear to ear as he's now got shield advantage for his candle. The opponent full send an Earthquake Whiscash, easily withstands the damage, then farms up, throws the Mud Bomb on the CMP tie, and it's time to pivot. Let's go, Candle! Decidueye briefly returned and the opponent pivots into Gligar. And Chandelure is now smelling blood. Of course, Boston going to be shielding up absolutely everything. We shield up the Aerial Ace, throw one further Incinerate and the Flame Charge for optimal fast move time, and only giving away one free turn. The opponent invests that final Protect Shield. Chandelure able to outpace the Flame Charge. Number 2, feed me that Decidueye, back out it comes. One Incinerate does over half their health, and the opponent is going to concede the match. GG's, and thanks for playing. And it's moments like that why XBoston is my favourite battler, as it is pure shadow destruction. In the next battle, we lead Whiscash into Deagon. Boston farms up, throws the Scold, fishing for the attack drop. The RNG gods not smiling upon Boston, as our 50% coin flip doesn't go in our favour. The opponent debuff us with the Icy Wind that needs no coin flip, as it's got a 100% chance. Boston fires off one further Mud Bomb, getting Deagon down to around a third health. The opponent fires off one further Icy Wind, which does secure the knockout. Boston now sends out Chandelure. Can we get the farm down before they reach a charge move? Holy, what a farm down. We're now absolutely loaded. The opponent have no response for Chandelure as they choose to send out Annihilate. That is using counter, which is double resisted. Boston fires off the Flame Charge, vamping up his attack. Of course we're going to start shielding. The opponent fires off the Night Slash, fishing for the boost, which they don't get. Chandelure fires off one further Incinerate, fires off the next Flame Charge. The opponent completely sack Annihilate, send out Decidueye, and it gets burned to death into Incinerate. Let's fucking go. Moving on to the next one. Whiscash into Poliwrath. Oh man, I should really re-record this, but we're just going to roll with it. We go straight for the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb goes unshielded and does around 45% of the shiny Poliwrath's health. The opponent full send the Skull, but Whiscash far too thick, able to withstand the damage and reach Mud Bomb number 2. And it looks like this matchup's pretty neutral in the zero shields. Again, Boston sends out Chandelure to get a running start. However, it's greeted by Stinky Binky, a stupid Pokemon that looks like a butt plug and is probably one of the hardest walls for us. We pivot into Shelgon. Boston playing it out. We do get the full Dragon Breath farm down. Back out comes Carbink, which is a rock and fairy type. So this move is double resisted. We force the opponent's shield because clearly they're an absolute pussy. Sorry, excuse my French. We send out Chandelure and we die to about 3 rock throws and we're going to take the loss. Moving on to the next one. Another Decidueye once again. We say switch into Shelgon and we see a Wormadam trash. Am I playing factions or am I shoutcasting battles? Sometimes it's hard to tell. We fire off the Twister. The opponent respect their potential Flamethrower, which is in our moveset. Of course we don't have it. But the opponent doesn't know that, so you always got to fake it till you make it. Once again, we've got ourselves shield advantage for Chandelure. However, its chances of sweeping this battle are looking somewhat slim. And if you're wondering why I'm thinking that, the opponent weak to fire in the front, double weak to fire on the say switch, clearly. Or at least if they've got any logic, they'd have to have a fire answer. The opponent fire off the Bug Buzz, we withstand the damage. Boston banks the Mud Bomb, out comes Decidueye. The opponent's fire counter is Annihilate, but unfortunately for this opponent, our fire type is also a ghost. Boston gonna shield up the Night Slash, return fire with the Flame Charge. The opponent petrified, invest that Protect Shield, but trainer, this is just GG's. Boston gonna shield up the next Night Slash. We're gonna leave with the Flame Charge, which is already boosted and of course is going to be massive overkill. Hi Decidueye, bye Decidueye, GG's, and thanks for playing. The opponent clearly exited the app, but we still get the boom regardless. Heading into the next battle, Whiscash finally wins a lead. Let's go Whiscash. The opponent save switches into Dragonair. Boston opts to stay in, go for the chip and dip, or look to force early shield advantage. Most Dragonairs shield, and this opponent does not disappoint. We gain ourselves that shield advantage and then pivot into Shelgon. Shelgon going to be able to shield once, Dragon Breath farm all the way down, and we're going to maintain the correct alignment. We've not only maintained the correct alignment, we're left on minimal HP, which is going to allow the opponent minimal farm. The opponent opts to send out Deagon to get a running start. The Twister once again does absolute pitiful damage, but all chip damage is always welcome. Boston now sends out the candle where the ice shards are resisted and our incinerates hit for neutral. Boston going to respect the potential drill run. The opponent actually full send the drill run. To my surprise, I think that's probably the easiest bait of their life. But the opponent was true to themselves. They completely sacked the Deagon, putting all their hopes and dreams on the back of Gligar. But Gligar will need to respect this boosted flame charge. Boston can then pivot out into Wish Daddy Cash, reach the Scald, and Scald is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. It's a good job that I talk at a million miles an hour because these battles are so quick today. In the next battle, we got Wish Daddy Cash into everyone's favourite pink fluffy marshmallow, Wiggles. We go straight for the Scald. Scald goes unshielded and we actually get the attack drop. Let's go Whiscash. Boston then farms up, throws the Mud Bomb, forces to protect shield. When you run a stupid ass Charmer, you essentially always look to force alignment, and Boston says fuck it, enjoy yourself trainer, you can have it. With this team, Boston doesn't really care too much about alignment. All he wants is shield advantage and an energy lead. We get a 2 incinerate head start. The opponent sends out Wish Daddy Cash. We go for the energy ball. Does the opponent respect the damage? Get that Whiscash out of here. What a boom. The opponent's final Pokemon is Annihilate, and they are very quickly reaching for that top left, running for the hills. In the next battle, we've got the same lead. So hopefully we see the same result with another huge boom in the mid game. Boston throwing at very disciplined time in 7 mud shots and the Scald. This time Scald is shielded and we don't see the attack drop. So rather than a 50% chance, I'll tell you how this fucking nonsense attack drop should work. If you're going to run a bullshit tap RPS Pokemon like Wigglytuff, Scald should nerf it 100% of the time. If you're going to use a skillful Pokemon that relies upon energy management, you shouldn't get debuffed. They're just my humble opinions on that situation. Out comes Umbreon. Boston opts to go for the chip and dip. So if you're wondering why he's going for the energy ball, despite flame charge getting same type attack bonus, energy ball still does more raw damage. So Boston looking to get off as much damage as possible. Then we see the pivot into Shelgon, drawing out Lantern, which is by no means a good dragon answer. Boston farms up, fires off the Twister. Twister goes unshielded, and we've now got the silly electric fish below half health. Boston with 2 protect shields, 2 hide behind, forced to start shielding up Surfs as we need this Shelgon to get off as much damage on Umbreon as possible. Again, Boston farms up, throws the Twister. Twister goes unshielded, back out, comes Umbreon. We look to make the catch back onto Chandelure. The catch is unsuccessful. We do sneak the Incinerate. Boston just completely sacks Chandelure. Can we get the Dragon Breath farm down? Dragon Breath versus Snarl. And once again, Umbreon's 6 million HP stat coming in clutch. Very close game. And GG's to both trainers. In the next battle, we see Shadow Wish Daddy Cash into G-Weezy. The opponent not liking that matchup. Say switch into Charger Bug, which also doesn't have the best matchup. Boston chips him with the Scald and then sends out Shelgon. The opponent farm up to the back-to-back X's. We tank the first. We could even just completely sack Shelgon as we don't particularly need switch advantage, and that's exactly what we see Boston do. Instead, we're just going to come back in with Whiscash, get a very nice mud shot farm down and lead with residual energy. The opponent sends out Lantern. What is this team? Essentially triple weak to one of the most common mon in the meta. Questions are raised. Trainer, I know this is catch cup, but honestly, team building is still important. I'd usually say in situations like this, you need to be careful of the opponent making a potential catch. But to be honest, we can just spam mud bombs at our leisure, as regardless of where they land, it's going to be the move we want to throw. Boston happy to exchange shields, shielding up the Surf. The opponent is now all shields down. They do make that catch, catching the Mud Bomb onto G-Weezy, but Mud Bomb going to do some very valuable chip damage. We bank the Mud Bomb for the road, pivot out into the Candle. The Candle gets the full Incinerate farm down, back out, comes Lantern. We've got the energy wheel locked and loaded, and Chandelure is a Lantern counter confirmed. You heard it here first. We see a familiar lead in the next battle. Shadow Wish Daddy Cash into Gligar. The opponent says no thank you. Say switch into Hisuian Sneasel, which is ironically an even worse matchup. I would have just stayed in with Gligar if I was this opponent, but what do I know? Boston sends out Chandelure. Chandelure goes for the one shield. Fast move beat down and leaves absolutely loaded back out. Comes Gligar, and Gligar is now greeted with this residual energy. Flame charge number 1 forces the opponent's first protect shield, and we're now going to fire off a boosted flame charge. The opponent actually chooses to 2-shield Gligar. The incinerate damages definitely put them into Scald range, so again, a pretty questionable play. Boston will be sending back out Shadow Whiscash. Even at Shadow form, we're pretty bulky. The opponent's going to need to double dig to secure the knockout. We tank the first. The opponent looking to reach the second. They don't get there. We fire off the Scald. Hi Gligar, bye Gligar. Boston instantly pivots into Shelgon, and the opponent's final Pokemon is Annihilate. What else do people run in this cup? The opponent allows us to reach the Twister. Twister, a pretty garbage move that does leave the opponent on a sliver of HP. The opponent then just gets Dragon Breath farmed down, and we take that game. Speaking of Dragon Breath, hello Dragonair. A pretty neutral matchup for Boston. Boston has to really stay in, as Chandelure wants no part of this Dragonair. We fire off the Mud Bomb, and we actually look to pivot, and oof, we're hard countered. The opponent answers our Shelgon with Shinotic. This Pokemon was probably built from the Azumarill Cup. Sorry, was it called Fantasy Cup? I don't know, I just called it Azu Cup because that's essentially all we saw. And this thing was a very good anti-meta spice pick. Shinotic going to be a problem for Boston. And I don't think they're in 1 Incinerate range, which will mean we're going to take 3 Astonishes. We send out Chandelure. We do indeed take 3 Astonishes, and we're already down to around 60% health. Of course, the opponent send back out Dragonair. Boston will be investing a Protect Shield. We're then looking to bank the energy, pivoting back out into Whiscash, drawing out Jumpluff. With no Blizzard, this is looking absolutely horrendous. However, there is going to be a small win con. If Boston can put this Jumpluff into a range where we can Incinerate farm it all the way down, we can leave it 100 energy with a double flame charge. I think Dragonair is essentially going to shield everything. So they shield the first, the second should knock out. Let's see if Boston looks to execute that. We actually opt to throw the flame charge. I think we had to commit to the fast move beatdown, because like this, we're just going to get Dragon Breath farm down and take the loss. Either way, that was looking rough. GG's to that opponent. Whiscash, Gligar. The opponent retreat into Licky. Far too thicky. Boston going to look to probably chip with the Scald, fishing for the attack drop. I imagine we bring out Shelgon. Boston's actually farming up, looking to make a potential Power Whip catch, but the opponent hold their energy, and they're now going to do what Licky, far too thicky, does best, and spam out Body Slam after Body Slam. We tank the first. We can tank the second, however, we're very much in danger of getting licked farmed down. We do get licked farmed all the way down. Poor old Shelgon was just used as the damage sponge. We haven't even got this Licky into range where we can Mudshot farm them all the way down, so Boston sends back out Whiscash. We fire off the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb does secure the knockout. The opponent now send out Dewgong. Can Chandelure sweep? Let's see. This is not going to be the easiest game for Boston. We fire off the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb goes unshielded. We actually look to make an Icy Wind catch onto the Candle. We're unsuccessful. Boston just going to save 2 Protect Shields for his Candle and pray. Come on, Chandelure. Let's see what you've got. Of course, Boston going to need to start shielding everything. We shield out the Aerial Ace, throw 1 Incinerate and the Flame Charge. Good discipline there. Only giving away 1 free turn. Flame Charge forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Boston is going to be able to shield this up, commit to the full Incinerate farm down, but we now have no Protect Shield. Too hard behind. However, we do have a potential sack swap in the form of Whiscash. Again, great discipline. 1 Incinerate and the charge move. Flame Charge forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and what a play. Boston makes that catch. This is going to be so close. Can we survive 2 Ice Shards? Get off the move. Oh, that is heartbreakingly close, but what an effort from Boston. GG's. In the next battle, we see another Shadow Dragonair. This thing has been a problem for us in this video. Let's see if Boston manages to overcome this one. We stay in, throw the Mud Bomb. This time, Mud Bomb goes unshielded, and we're already sitting in a better spot. Whiscash might even be able to survive the Body Slam, reach another Mud Bomb. It's going to be close. Oof, we die at the move. So we don't manage to force a shield. However, we have got rid of the biggest threat, hopefully, for our Candle. We send in Shelgon. Shelgon gets a very nice Dragon Breath farm down. The opponent sends out Gligar. They go straight for the Aerial Ace, and we see the instant no shield deployed as Aerial Ace isn't going to threaten the knockout. We do survive in the red, and we're going to get off a Twister. Hopefully the opponent shield this, which they do. And again, we've got shield advantage Candle. Let's go, Candle. Close the video strong. Boston, of course, going to need to shield everything. Chandelure definitely cannot tank a hit for shit. Boston looking to get the Candle vamped up for one last time in the video. The opponent completely sacked Gligar, putting all their hopes and dreams on Chargebuck, and look at this Incinerate damage. Holy. Boston opts to throw a charge move. I think we could have just incinerated farm down or took a Simul KO, but regardless, we've still got some health on Shelgon. We're going to be able to shield up the incoming X-Scissor, Dragon Breath farm down, and take that game. Huge shout out to XBoston. As always, such epic entertainment. If you want to see him battle live, he battles more or less daily on my Discord, which is linked down below. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, my battle submission form is posted down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.